Well, Happy New Year, everybody. Don Finto here with Caleb Global. You're thinking, Finto? Don't you know? It's only March? Oh, I'm not talking about Pope Gregory's calendar. I know, and some of you out there remind me in late December, I want to buy up a bunch of Happy New Year cards to send at the real New Year. And no, even the Jewish people celebrate the New Year. They send out these Lashana Tova cards on the first day of the seventh month. Hello, the seventh month, not the first month. But God has a calendar, I remember. And so I just can't pass this by with just saying one more thing as we approach the new year. And the Nisan 1 is next Sunday, the 14th of March this year, on Pope Gregory's calendar, the Gregorian calendar, the one that started in 1582, and that most of the world, the non-Catholic world, didn't even accept at first. But that's and it's the first day of Nisan. But another word for this month is Aviv, and Aviv in Hebrew means spring. And you know the town Tel Aviv. Well, Tel Aviv means old new or old and spring. Why? Because a tel is that thing you dig up archaeologically to find out all these things about former civilizations in Israel. And then Aviv is the spring. So Tel Aviv was named Old New, an old new city. And if you go there, you'll find out it's an old new city because the old Jaffa is the old city, and the other part is a newer city. So anyway, so I just want to say again, Happy New Year to you. Now, if it's Happy New Year on Sunday, that means that it really starts Saturday night. So there's a passage in Leviticus that says that you're supposed to take two silver trumpets and announce the new moon every time. And so it'll be a new moon. 14 days later will be Passover. So God's Passover starts on the first full moon after the new year. So Passover is 14 days after next Sunday, but it starts on Saturday night. And so I intend, and I didn't do this during the freeze here, but I intend to take my two silver trumpets out there and meet some people out there on the hill. You can do it anywhere. And I bought these two silver trumpets just for this occasion to announce the new moon and the new year. Now, let me just review again for you the importance of this, that God is on his calendar. And I don't think I'm mean-spirited about this at all, but I'm excited about it. I'm excited about the fact that we're beginning to recognize God's calendar. And the body of believers all over the world, Jewish and Gentile believers, are beginning to understand that this is God's calendar. And Osher and Trader's the one who said the other day, and I mentioned this to you, that the first part of the year was celebrated when Yeshua came. Now, he was probably born at Tabernacles. That's a whole other thing. We've been there. He tabernacled among us. But he was crucified in the first part of the year. He was buried. He rose from the grave. And he ascended in the first part of the year. And the other spring feasts, remember, the Feast of Unleavened Bread. Why was he buried during the Feast of Unleavened Bread? Because he himself was the only human being that was ever unleavened. Leaven is a sign of sin. And then he was raised from the dead on the Feast of First Fruits, 3 days after Passover, to wave himself before the whole world to say, there are resurrections of everybody come, but I'm the first fruits of the resurrection. That's what Paul says when he's writing to the Corinthians and to the Thessalonians. And then poured out his Spirit on the anniversary of the giving of the law in Sinai. And then we have this long interval we're living in before trumpets, judgment, and living together. But Jesus fulfilled that first part. But remember that we're still in the month of Adar, which is the last few days of the old year. It's the last month of the year. And the reason why Purim was important is because it's prophetic of what's going to happen in the future. Because during Purim, the Jewish people were surrounded by the strongest world empire at the time that wanted to destroy them, but God intervened. And remember, when as we approach the return of the Lord, Zechariah 14, the Jewish people will be surrounded by their enemies all over the world. Every nation. Yes, ours too. Every nation. That's what Zechariah predicts. And then that's when Jesus comes back. And so, Happy New Year. Enjoy the year. Get ready to celebrate. Get some friends together on Saturday night. Announce the new year. Say Happy New Year to people that would understand what you're doing on Sunday. I pray this is the best year of our lives, that we will understand more and walk in the fullness of all that Jesus wants to walk in.